We have a 2-year-old. He had a birthday. Perhaps you're familiar with the concept.
It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight.
The theme that we went with was Bear in the Big Blue House. We are the kind of millennial parents where we keep showing our kid TV shows that we really liked, and he loves them, which is great. Except when your kid is really into a show that's 30 years old, there's like no merch or decorations.
There's like weird AI things, and then also weird bootleg stuff. Picture. Yuck.
Not what we're going for.
No. So we made our own decorations. We have a whole video actually about the prep work for this party. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and show you. Here's the party. Here's what it'll look like.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I love to host, number one. I love to have a birthday party. Our kiddo really liked it. This was the first birthday party that he like had friends come. I feel like the first birthday is always like just family. Maybe like your one friend who has a baby a similar age, and then it's just kind of like, I don't know, like the kid isn't really, like they are the focus because everyone's looking at them. But
he
like,
was locked into it being his birthday. He woke up and said, cake, eat it, cake.
Yeah,
so that's
it was
different.
really exciting.
Yeah.
And his friends came. We were so excited to be like, and your friends.
Yeah.
And like he was excited to see like his cousins and aunts and uncles too, but really excited his friends were coming.
Yeah.
Felix actually was talking about when we were getting ready to make this video how this is kind of like a weird age to have a birthday party because he's still young enough that like all of the family is invited, right? But he's getting old enough that he has friends, and like you can only have so many people at your house.
Yes.
So this is, I think, the last one where like absolutely every family member was invited and kind of like only his core like 3 friends. And starting here up, it's like the number of friends is increasing and the number of family is decreasing.
Yeah.
Unless we have it at like a place that like has lots of space.
Oh, and I think that's the other thing is that like if he was like, oh, I really want to go to such and such location for my birthday, then the friend would say smaller. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna have more say moving forward. This is really our last party where, like, we picked the theme.
Yeah.
I feel.
It was kind of the same with Halloween this past year. It's like, it was the last year where, like, he didn't really get a vote on what he was gonna be because he didn't have any thoughts. And I'm excited.
He did have thoughts, but he didn't, not enough about
He didn't really know what Halloween was.
Yeah.
This was the first year where he was, like, walking and knocking on doors. And then hopefully closer to Halloween this year, we can be like, who do you want to dress up as?
Yes.
And I hope he says something cuckoo bananas that we get to design and figure out.
Yeah. I made a lot of fun decorations for this party that included some cardboard pieces that I painted to just kind of be like set type things. I printed out a bunch of tiny pictures of Tutter. That was really fun. Way easier, much quicker than painting cardboard stuff, which took a very long time. The Tutters, I had this like half-baked idea to use them as a like find all the Tutters like game, and the kids wouldn't have played it. They were really excited about like be in box of rice, and they were not as excited about like let me see how many Tutters are in this house.
I think something that I have to naturally fight against, I love hosting. In college, I hosted like a lot of like themed parties where like everyone's getting really drunk, right? And I think something that I have to constantly fight against myself is like I want to make things more complicated than they need to be.
Yes.
And I think this is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sound like Monica in that one episode of Friends where she's like, okay, here's how we play the game, everyone, that nobody wants to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be in the future maybe a game we could play, but like 2 and 3-year-olds do not want to play.
No.
Fine. They're not competitive enough to care.
No.
You know?
I made this unhinged shirt. I was trying to do it like those Hosier Etsy shirts, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or like Sexy Man.
It's usually like Sexy Man.
It's like a style. But anyway,
But it's Tutter.
It was fun. My mom helped me. I'm definitely gonna make one for Hannah.
But you just made it on Canva, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then had like the printed, they used to be really popular, I feel like, in the early 2000s, but they still make them, the little iron transfer
you just
paper.
like print it out on whatever,
The science is crazy.
It was super easy. I think that if you are a person who's interested in a shirt like this and you don't really hate AI, you might be like, oh, maybe I should make it with AI. I'm going to caution you and say that I think it would be really ugly if you did that. And it's honestly was not that hard to just like get pictures of Tutter. Canva's got this like background remove tool thing that you can do. It's like super easy. And then I just layered Tutters.
The other thing is I feel like part of the lure of shirts like this is that they are kind of like, not really ugly, but like cringy. And that's what is like the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you were to use AI, it would look too smooth.
And also there would be all kinds of like weird things in it. I'm sure that would not be good.
No, do it yourself. You can do it. You're smart.
Yeah. Also, Morgan has a family friend who made an airbrush shirt for the boy, which was very cute. That one, the cheese in it looks like he used an AI generator, but actually it's just like from a coloring book page that we found later. Anyway.
Yeah.
The cheese is weird, but otherwise it's a really
cheese
cute
is weird.
shirt.
I don't know if the coloring page that we found is AI, but it seems old. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The artist that I know himself did make the shirt. So and he's like a 70-year-old man. But really cool. Yeah, my whole family grew up wearing a lot of airbrush t-shirts because of our family friends. So I really liked this, and I've always thought airbrush t-shirts are so cool. I feel like it's a really interesting art medium that I know nothing about. So his shirt was so sick. And then Mimi, Felix's mom, made him penny pants with the toddler sizing of penny pants, and Felix put patches of Pip and Pop on his knees.
Yes.
It was like such a cool outfit.
Yeah, and I made his birthday crown.
Yes.
So we do like a yearly birthday crown. So last year it was a bug because it was like our little June bug was the theme. I did some sort of like fun embroidery on that one also, but it was mostly felt. And then this one I did sequins for the first time. It was very cute.
It was so cute.
It took so much time.
So long.
And I knew it was going to take a lot of time. He was really into it. He also like basically wore it for the whole party.
Yeah, we had to kind of trick him into wearing it just for like some photos last year because he did not want to wear it.
No. Yeah, but then this year he put a cowboy hat on top of it. And it was like, it's like slid down onto his head and he had the cowboy hat on top. And I was like, do you want me to take off your crown? And he was like, no. And I was like,
I'm wearing 2 hats now.
Sorry, yeah. It's really important we keep the cowboy hat on top of that.
Right. Like we were saying, it's kind of a specific age being 2 because some of his friends are like closer to 1 and some of them are closer to 3. And they're like, those are very different developmental stages.
Yes.
We have the unique benefit of having like kind of 2 living areas in our house because we live in a multi-generational home. So with that, what we did is we had everyone go upstairs first to kind of like grab snacks, say hello, all that stuff. And then we were like, all of the toddlers who want to, we have some activities downstairs. And then we just kind of like set up different play areas. So we had some dress up stuff. We put that out. Felix set up like a sensory rice bin situation. That was probably the most popular area, I would say.
Yeah, amongst all of the ages.
Yes.
Including the grown-ups, the parents.
Well, I just feel like, it's like a giant bin of rice.
Yeah.
And it really does feel, I mean, you
Scooping.
get a bunch of starch on your hands, but like you just shove your hands in there and you're like,
It rocks.
I have no problems anymore.
Yeah, I know, it's so fun.
And then he also has a Tony box that he got, I think for his birthday last year.
Yeah, we've got
Still
some
loves
little
it.
people. There's like a house that the kids were playing with. And then, our whole downstairs area is like very baby proof, so they could just run all over. Parents could be kind of like, and also it's sort of one section-ish looking, so you
it's
can
like basically
mostly
an L.
see your kid from hanging out, which is cool.
Yeah.
So that was really great.
And something else that I have not noticed at anyone else's party until we became parents is that also with this age, some of the kids are using the potty. Some of them are still in diapers.
Yes.
So we had a very easily accessible like diaper changing station where we change our kiddo's diaper in his room. But then also both upstairs and downstairs we put kids' toilet seats on them. We have ones that like they just fold down and fold back up so an adult can just also easily use it. But that was something that I hope that more people start doing. I honestly think more businesses should invest in like an insert that has like
Potty flip down
because it's just like it doesn't take up any extra room.
Yeah.
And there are so many kids in the world at any given moment who are potty training.
Yeah.
And I remember being a kid like potty training, being so scared to use like a public toilet because I was gonna fall in.
Big toilet. Yeah.
And it's like, why aren't more places just like having a little flip down?
Yeah.
But we wanted our friends and their kids to obviously be very comfortable going to the bathroom and having lots of options. We also, this didn't happen, but because Felix runs our local kids clothing swap.
Oh yeah.
If any of our friends had an accident, we had like plenty of clothes for them to wear.
Yeah.
Which is something else that I think more people hosting toddlers should think about. Because accidents happen all the time.
Yes. We did a build your own gift bag situation.
Yeah.
So we had some like fun buttons that we had made and then a CD that was it was like 70 minutes of Bear in the Big Blue House music, which we acquired legally.
Completely legally.
We purchased those.
Just so you know, we spoke with Mickey Mouse himself. He said
he said it was totally cool.
So no need to tell
bought it
him.
from him. We spent $30 each on those, whatever a CD costs nowadays.
Right.
We did not burn them. We did not illegally download any music.
We would never do that.
We would never do that. Similarly, we made a mix CD of all of the baby's favorite songs right now. Also, they happen to sell that, I think, at Walmart, actually.
Right, yeah. I think that's what it says.
But I did make the case for it, which says, because it's like, so Harry Styles had an album come out, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally.
Our kiddo loves Harry Styles.
He loves Harry Styles so much. He loves that album. And so we did that album cover as if it was his stuffed animal. So it's Kiss Purple Cow, Disco Occasionally.
Purple Cow is his, every kid has one. This is
Right.
his like favorite stuffed animal.
Yes.
Sleeps with her every night.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're a big Purple Cow fans.
we're a
in
big,
this house.
she is a member of our family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think actually a Sweet Pea here on YouTube said that their family did this, or maybe it was on Instagram, but they said like my parents always made a mixed CD.
Yes.
Of all my favorite songs every year. And I was like, this is I can't
Genius.
believe I'm not seeing more people say this.
Yeah.
So if you're here, please comment so we can all say thank you for this genius idea.
Yes, here's the track list.
I guess to your parents, yeah.
Of his.
Let's have it move. Ready?
Oh, scrolling.
I'm saying scrolling.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
I thought
Hang
you meant
on.
it was the picture's gonna go.
Wait,
and I was
hang
like,
on.
oh.
I'm gonna edit it like it's one of those late night commercials where it's like best of Michael Bublé.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
yeah.
What's one of the songs we should sing?
Where?
Now, for free, you can get the best of Redacted's favorite songs from 2026. He's 2 years old. It'll include such favorites as Funky Town, Aperture by Harry Styles, Go for G by They Might Be Giants, the Dungeon Crawler Carl edit of the song Wonderwall, and scene.
Call now.
Call now. So you can see it's really popular. Anyway, genius idea. Sweet
Yes.
Pea's parents who had that idea, because now I'll be doing it for this kid as he
Absolutely.
grows up, and then our future kids.
Yeah.
We're
not pregnant.
We're not pregnant in the future.
Yes.
It's like a mini way to have like a snapshot of that time.
Yeah.
Because all of these songs now, when I hear them in 6 years, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, like this is when we were listening to this song like all the time.
Yes.
Oh my god, I totally forgot.
Also, it's actually a hack because now we've given this CD to all of our friends, so they have this CD in the car. in case we need it.
In case we need it.
For safety.
And it's also great because there's lots of people in his life who are really interested in completely different genres of music. So he has like an uncle who's like sort of like a punk fella, you know? You guys know Nick. Picture. We don't like the same things, except each other. But he is always super interested in what our baby's listening to, and so he was like a great person.
He showed him Electric
like,
Avenue when he was over.
Electric Avenue.
And I was like, how have we not shown the baby Electric? He loved it.
He loves Funky Town, so that makes sense.
Yes.
It's very Funky Town.
Anyway, food. The world is so expensive right now, so we did a potluck.
Yeah,
I feel like it rocked.
I think, here's what I'll say. I think before maybe I was feeling too prideful to have a potluck. I was like, no, I'm a host. You just show up and enjoy everything. And now I think being in my 30s, being a parent, realizing people aren't thinking about you near as much as you think that they are.
Yeah.
It's like, why wasn't I more team potluck before?
It's so much less expensive.
It's less expensive. It's less work. I can still bring the thing that I want to eat the most. In this case, I made pigs in a blanket because that was what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then I know that there's pigs in a blanket there. I don't think it's weird when people have potluck at Christmas. Why was I before like, I need to make all the food for the birthday party?
Yeah. Also, you end up with so many fewer leftovers because we had a whole bunch of like to-go containers so that people could take what they wanted.
This is actually another thing we should have put on the list.
Yes. Well, I'm saying it now.
Yes. Either
It rocks.
pre-purchase like those nice, like we used the Glad containers because they were on sale at Costco, I think. And be like, here, fill a container, take it home.
Yeah.
Or what my aunt Sheila used to do actually is like all year before Thanksgiving, she'd save like her country crock container.
Yeah.
Her yogurt container, da-da-da-da. And then when Thanksgiving and Christmas roll around, she'd bring out all these clean yogurt containers and be like, take what you want home.
Yeah.
And then it at least gets used one more time before it gets thrown away. Or if you live in our house.
So much.
We use them. We use them till they crack, and then after they crack, we use them to hold things like crayons.
Yeah. This is true.
That's just, hey, reduce, reuse, recycle, okay? Speaking of food.
Fruit's really good. He has a summer birthday. I think it's also relevant.
That
so
is
like
true.
if you don't have a summer birthday, this is not going to be as easy. We happened to hit the growing period where all of the fruit was on sale. So mangoes were 78 cents each, and then a clamshell of strawberries was 98 cents.
Yeah.
Like bananas low pricing for fruit, which rocks.
Yeah.
So
we had tons of fruit.
Yes.
And all of it got eaten between the toddlers and some of the grown-ups, I'm sure. I know I ate some. Hannah actually also made a vegan fruit dip. That was just, I think, the vegan Cool Whip. That's like coconut, a little bit of vegan yogurt, vanilla, and something else. And it was so good.
I also, as a grown-up, am afraid to eat too many strawberries because I know that they're expensive, and I know that everybody wants strawberries because they're delicious.
Yeah.
So it was really nice at our party to have so many strawberries that I was like,
I think
don't
we
be
had
stressed.
4 clamshells, and somebody else brought some.
Yeah. So
and they all got eaten. I think there's one bag that's like frozen. Huge hit. Also, a lot of the veggies, I saw someone, this is only slightly relevant to party. I would say mostly it's relevant to like being a toddler / little kid parent. I saw someone say that like from like 2 to like 5 p.m. they just like put out a snacking tray and their kids just like snack on it every time they walk past the kitchen with like fruits and veggies and like meat and cheese on it. And she was like, it's like the best hack I've ever done because my kids like, they usually don't fill up on it. They're just like, oh yeah, this sounds good. And then like their attitudes are better because they're not hungry before dinner's ready. Something else that we did with the food that we had not done before, but I thought would be both helpful and like relevant at this party. We had little signs already that Shelly got on sale at like, I don't know, an estate sale or Dollar Tree or something. They're little chalkboard signs. Incredible.
Yeah.
But I got some garage sale colored dots.
Price dots.
Thank you. Price dots. And I wrote a little sign that said like, the pink dot means it's vegan. The orange dot means this. And it was, I feel, super helpful. You don't think it was?
I think it was helpful. I think the way that you ended up doing it was so funny.
I will do it differently next time, I think.
Yes.
But go ahead.
I had already thought about this, which was why I was like, this isn't my project. Because I'm just going to mess this up and take over on accident. It is not my...
I would say the biggest intention is we have a kiddo. Yeah.
Sorry.
We have a kiddo in our life who is vegan, and none of the other kids are specifically vegan. And so I didn't want her to have to ask, can I have this? Can I have this? Instead, like her mom could be like, oh, anything that has like a pink dot on it, you can have.
Yeah.
And so that was like my thought process. And then I was like, well, it seems, because there's other people coming who are gluten-free.
But we also have folks who have dairy allergy.
Yes.
Like not like really stressful ones, but like a little bit.
Right.
So it's like...
So I really like the idea. I think I will change the wording the next time we do this. Yeah, but I like that we put it up, and I wish more people would do something like that, especially I'm married to... My husband has a disability where he's vegetarian, and so all the time we go to parties and there's nothing he can eat. And so I wish that...
It's not a big deal.
Also, you're an adult
right.
versus like a 3-year-old.
Right.
It's, that would be hard. It was not as needed as I thought it would be, but I don't know.
I would always rather...
That's how I feel.
An overabundance of information.
I'm hoping that what my friends saw was that I was trying to make something easier.
Yeah.
How would you change the wording?
It was just the gluten-free only.
Yeah, I just should have not done it. Because the person who's gluten-free, he knows what he can eat.
That was what I thought.
Trying to be inclusive.
That was what I thought, but I was like...
I'm like that, what's that clip on TikTok where it's like, fine, you win with your gay stuff.
Yeah.
That's me being like, sorry I tried to include the gluten-free guy in my labeling. Yeah. Here's the other thing, guys. I don't know what's gluten-free.
That was the best part. It was like, oh, and this is gluten-free, right? And I was like, no, there's
I'm just
flour.
constantly asking the one cousin that we have, and he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, me either. So... You think I should put a sticker on it, or?
It was so funny.
It's because I don't really know what gluten is, because it's like, I know it's bread.
In flour.
But it's in other things as well.
Anything that says wheat, that is...
No, I know that.
Right.
But also other things.
And flour. No, it's just wheat. If it says contains wheat...
I should get one of those dogs, but can you hire those dogs by the hour that smell stuff and tells you if it's gluten-free, and then I wouldn't have to bother our cousins
There's not
so
a dog
much?
that does that. You think bombs?
No.
A dog can sniff and tell you something's gluten-free?
Yeah, it's like a real thing.
No.
Google it.
You're making things up.
I'm not.
You saw an AI video. I don't believe you.
No, people who have like celiac, where like they really can't celiac.
Celiac. Ooh.
Silly.
Sorry if you're allergic to gluten.
Sorry. Yeah. By the way,
Serious act.
I'm like very. I would not heavily.
You didn't think serious act was funny?
No. I'm serious.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm moderately on. Now I'm worried. Celiac. Celiac? Now I'm sounding strange.
It's celiac.
I'm moderately on, like, the reels of this, of people who, like, there's a difference between, like, having a gluten intolerance and having it.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, it's, like, very, very serious. They, like, have to wash their hands and have, like, a separate toaster in their house and stuff. Anyway, some people get, like, a, what's it called when a dog has a job? Like a service dog. Worse.
Dog labor.
I almost said it's like a seeing eye dog, but for smelling.
Oh, a smelling nose dog.
A smelling nose dog. Someone's gonna be like, yeah, that's a real thing.
All right.
Anyway, I always think stuff like that is interesting. It's not something that I like am facing, but now if I meet someone in my life who has celiac, I've definitely been saying celiac this whole time.
No, you have. You're saying it wrong. But
celiac.
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 Celiac. Yeah.
Celiac.
Celiac. Go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, I had no idea it was like that.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know it was that serious.
No, it's an inflammatory.
I don't know anyone who has it. Now I know some on Reels and I follow them, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, no.
It's similar. I follow a lot of people with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Ehlers-Danlos. Right?
I gotta be honest, this one I'm not sure. People always say EDS, but when I say EDS, the first thing I think of is erectile dysfunction.
Eating disorders.
Disorder.
Yeah.
So I'm always like the other one.
I'm glad we went on this tangent. I'm sure you were happy
Sorry,
to hear it.
you can cut it all out.
No,
Sorry.
I'm definitely keeping it.
I can talk to you about it, my husband. Anyway, sorry, all of that to say, I was trying to be helpful.
If you're gonna try to be helpful, I would say the best...
Ask the person you're helping.
One. And then two, I would say the best thing that you can do when you're labeling whether or not something has something is know the answer to that question. So if you're like, maybe this doesn't have gluten,
question mark.
That's actually maybe less helpful than if you just didn't try to, which you didn't do any of that.
No.
But it was a lot of you being like, okay, and there's not gluten in the Rice Krispie treats. And I was like, no, that's cereal. It's got wheat.
No, I knew that one. The one that I was confused on is like beans for some reason really throw me for a loop in all areas of my life. Oh,
yeah. So the beans don't make the flour tortillas stop being made of flour.
No. The lentil soup, not soup, dip.
You didn't ask me about that. You asked me about the taquitos and also the Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah, but it was me saying these aren't safe, right? You're using...
It didn't feel that way to me.
We're doing two brains, one answer.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta take 2 stones to not even kill a bird.
2 stones to see if the bird can have the rock or not.
Yeah. And that bird is vegan. Thanks for being here. That was normal.
You get it.
You get it. If you have a weird party theme you've ever done for a child or for yourself, let us know. I also want to be really clear. Anytime we're talking about like, oh, Bear in the Big Blue House theme party, I keep seeing people be like, I'm 32. Do you think it's silly to have this as a theme? No, I think that rocks.
Yeah.
I absolutely think you should have a Bear in the Big Blue House theme party. We, for many years during our fertility journey and like before having kids, would do things that were considered like kids activities. Like we like go to the Enchanted Forest and like go to like the unhinged Christmas storybook land and like all of these things. Like you do fun stuff that's fun. Anything
that's healing your inner child,
or if it's just bringing you joy,
or it's just fun, do it. There's no rules.
No.
I had a Barbie theme party when I turned 28.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
Or 29. One of those.
I think you're 28.
And then, we've had several events that were like themed for no reason in our adulthood for sure. And that, that maybe the theme is the friends we made along the way.
You know what the theme is not? Gluten intolerance.
Do not have that theme.
You could.
You want to, but I couldn't because I don't really...
You don't know enough about it.
I don't know enough about it.
No, but we should have
I
one
know
of those
that bread
parties.
is gluten. Don't give them bread.
Well, some bread is gluten-free, but what we need to do is have one of those PowerPoint parties where people explain to us their illnesses.
Yeah, that is true.
Including gluten intolerance or celiac. I don't think that James has celiac.
No, he's just I asked him.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I'm on celiac
Yes.
rails. And he was like, I don't have that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, good, because you couldn't be in our house. It's very nuts in the air. Anyway... Thanks for being here.
Thanks for joining us.
If you like how silly we are, we hope you stick around.
Yes.
If you don't like how silly we are,
bye.
Sorry you don't have celiac. Damn, that would have been funny.
That would have been so funny if you'd said it right. Or maybe very offensive to people.
That's true.
Keep us updated.
Let us know.
If this is the thing that gets us canceled, let us know.
That's true.
All right. Thank you.
Mwah.